Hey everybody, happy Monday to you. I hope your day is going great. Listen, I'm going to get right into the purpose for this video. Our last Cooking Live with T, that's me, which was our viewer's choice episode. Thank you so much, you guys rock. Thank you for making it a spectacular one. I really appreciate your participation in it. At the end, we had our Let's Talk Food, right? And some of you voiced your concerns with gravy. Remember that? Yes. Either you couldn't get the flavor right with it, or the consistency of it is either too runny, too loose, not thick enough, or it's bland, right? And even the color, I find it that some people even have a challenge with getting it to be the right color, right? So today I am going to do this short, quick video for you where you can see me making gravy. I understand that all of us, we're different types of learners, right? Some of us are visual, some of us are auditory. Once we hear it, we got it. Some of us, we need to see you actually doing something, doing what you're trying to tell us to do, and then we can grab it just like that. And then some of us are kinesthetic. We're physical, we're hands-on. We actually need to do it ourselves. Wow, you're teaching it to us. So I respect that, because in me, I'm the type of person that I'm several of those. I'm not just one. So I am going to actually make the gravy, and I'm going to take my time. I'm going to let you guys see how I build it from just a basic salt and pepper gravy to adding different flavors for it, and how what you're using the gravy for can also add flavor to it, and how you can make the flavor of your gravy fit the meal or the meat that you're trying to make the gravy for, right? We know the holidays are coming up, Thanksgiving, Christmas, and a good gravy is definitely needed, right? Okay, so let's get started. Here are some of the ingredients that I have. I got some butter. I have some butter right here. I have some flour. It's needed, okay? Because this is what, as we all know, what helps give it the thickness that you desire. And I'm gonna talk about what this is in a minute. I have some chicken broth. I have some pepper, and I have some salt. I'm gonna use sea salt this go around. I got some salt, pepper, and some salt. Okay, anyway, what I'm gonna do first is I'm gonna turn the fire on. Now, normally what you use to make gravy is a saucepan, which basically is a high-end pan, right? Pan with high size, saucepan. I'm using this low non-stick fry pan because I want you guys to actually see what I'm doing and how it transforms from face to face or from step to step, right? Okay. And I'm only gonna make a little bit because I don't have a dish that I'm preparing to where I need this gravy. So actually I am doing this for you guys. Okay. So let's get this teapot pushed out the way. This is the right one, yeah. So I'm gonna turn this on. It's not gonna take no time to get hot. And again, we're making gravy and I'm doing it step by step. So while I'm waiting for this to get hot, I'll tell you what this is. What's today, Monday? Yesterday, I had some baked chicken. No, Saturday. Saturday, I made some baked chicken. And this is some of the juice or the drippings or the chicken goodness that was in the bottom of the pan, and I saved it because I said I can use this to show you guys how to add flavor to your gravy, how to build your flavor profile, right, for your gravy. And so, like I said, I saved some of this, and I'm going to use this for my gravy. Now, my pan it's kind of warm. It's getting there. If you're making beef, right, and you want to do a beef gravy, you don't have to do chicken stock. You can use beef stock. Now, some people use water. When I was young coming up, my mom used water, and her gravy was fantastic. I don't use water now because the world has evolved. And so they have all types of things to help you bring flavor to your dish, right? So I use chicken stock. Water's kind of bland. Water has no flavor to it. So if I use water, that means I gotta really build up my seasoning, right? Boom. Okay, so pan is hot. It's really getting there. I have 3 tablespoons of butter. You can use, let me get a spoon here. You can use whatever butter you use. Smart Balance. Some people, I remember some of you from the Viewer's Choice episode, you said that you use Smart Balance butter. That's perfect. You can use that. But I'm using regular butter because it was in my refrigerator, and also I do use Smart Balance. I have Smart Balance in my refrigerator as well, and I'm going to show you that so you guys know. Are you guys enjoying that music that's in the background? I love that song. I have some Smart Balance. You can use Smart Balance. Use whatever. If you got Country Crock in your refrigerator, whatever you use, you can use it, okay? Boom. It won't make it any better or less. It's really your seasoning that's really gonna make that, give the gravy the flavor. Butter does give it a more richer kind of, I almost wanna say creamier, but no, it gives it a richer flavor. And usually around the holidays, I mean, I'm gonna tell you, I don't use Smart Balance, I use butter because I want that rich flavor, that rich taste of it. Okay, so I'm sure you guys can't really, I'll bring the pan over. But as my butter starts to melt, see that? Okay, you guys can definitely see that. So as my butter is melting, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take my flour. I have like about 2 tablespoons of flour. And I'm just gonna add it, I'm gonna turn the fire down. I don't want my butter to burn. Don't want that to happen. So I'm gonna turn my fire way down. And I'm gonna add 2 tablespoons of flour, right? Now I'm gonna slowly add it in because I want it to be like a paste, right? I don't want it to be, if I have more flour than I have butter, then it's gonna kind of be like clumpy. And I don't want clumpy, right? I want it to be like a paste. And I'm gonna show you the consistency. And you just take your time with it. Just take your time and you're gonna whisk that. See that? Look at that. I'm gonna show you in a minute. I know I'm telling you to look and you probably can't even see. Okay. When this child fell, excuse me guys. Okay. Now, as you can see, that's definitely not a lot, right? And it kind of has that paste glue. It could be a little thicker. I'm gonna make it a little thicker. And I could possibly add more butter, but I'm not at this phase because I'm only making a little bit of gravy like I forestated. Okay, here we go. This is perfect right here. See that? It's kind of like, I don't know. I don't want to say baby food, but kind of like baby food. See that? It's all over the pan because this is a really big pan that I'm using that's too big for the amount. At any rate, that's fine. So we kind of want that consistency just like that. See that? Cool, right? So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to add my liquid, right? Which is some chicken broth. I have some chicken broth here. Now, let's see. I'm gonna give you guys direct measurements for this. So you'll know, I use 3 tablespoons of butter, remember? 3 tablespoons of butter and 2 tablespoons of flour. I didn't use it all, so I think it might be safe to say I did about a tablespoon and a half of flour. Let's give this a quick rinse. I'm gonna add a cup at a time of my chicken broth, right? This is low sodium. I love that song. Okay, here's a cup of broth. Move this out the way. And I'm gonna slowly add this in and just stir. Slowly, right? So I can actually see it transforming into something thicker. And then here we go. I'm gonna add it and I'm gonna whisk. I'm gonna whisk. And I'm not gonna, I need to get a bigger whisk. This little one's not working out for me. Okay. Have a bigger one. And I'm gonna bring this over. Once I get it, I'm gonna whisk it till it's creamy, like just really the flour and the roux that I had at first with the butter and the flour has really become no lumps. It's just a smooth, creamy, even consistency like that. See that? Now that is some, see how creamy that is? Nice and creamy, right? But I'm gonna add, it's too thick, so I'm gonna add a little more stock. Now remember, you add a little at a time. The whole recipe for this amount may require a cup, but I'm gonna add it little at a time, right? and watch it just transform. Here we go. Add a little more. And we're gonna add this until it gets to the consistency that we want. Some people like a really thick gravy. Some people like a runny gravy. I like an in-between gravy, if that makes sense. I don't like it too thick. You'll see at the end the consistency that I like. And I think it might be safe to say, I think you'll like the consistency that I like as well, okay? So I'm gonna add a little more. And I'm gonna show you what you can do if your gravy ends up too runny and you want it thicker. Real simple, I'm gonna show you that. Okay, here we go. I want you to see this. Now see that? See that? That's a good thickness, right? But of course, this is nothing but butter and flour and chicken stock. Bland, no flavor, no nothing. Okay, so let's get some. I think I'm gonna add the whole thing. So let's say that was what? 3 tablespoons of butter, a tablespoon and a half of flour, and a cup of chicken broth. Got it? So it was 3, 1.5. I wish I could say 2. 3, 1.5, and 1. Okay? All right. You saw the consistency at which it was, the thickness, right? That's what we want. And so now let's start building up our flavor profile, right? Let's get some sea salt in there. Let's get these sleeves up. Here we go, sea salt, right? We're gonna turn this fire on low, okay? We don't want it boiling. We want it like lightly simmering. And you don't have to put too much of anything. Slowly but surely, you're gonna add your, increase your seasoning, right? You wanna taste it as you go. Okay, here we go. Some fresh cracked black pepper. I don't want to specifically tell you a teaspoon or teaspoon of salt, half a teaspoon of pepper, because I want you to just build it, right? Build it, go along the way and taste. Now, we're going to stir this. It's going to whisk, and I'm using a whisk, right? Or you can use a spoon. That's fine. Whatever makes you comfortable and happy, of course. Okay, now I have some browning and seasoning sauce. This is the kitchen bouquet. Browning and seasoning sauce. This is what I'm gonna use. This is gonna give my gravy the color. Now, you don't want a real dark gravy. Be careful. We're gonna do measurements with this. Don't put too much because it will change your the color of your gravy real quick, right? Okay, so I'm gonna start with. I'm gonna do a teaspoon, right? Yeah, let's do a teaspoon. I want you guys to see this. That's really dark. See that? It's real dark, right? So I'm gonna slowly I'm gonna put the whole thing in. We'll do a teaspoon. Oh yeah. I want you to see how this see the marbleization of it when it gets blended together and I start to stir it. Look at that. And that consistency. Oh my gosh, that creaminess. It looks good, doesn't it? But it's not quite there yet. It needs a lot more seasoning, I guarantee you. Okay. And see, this is a nice dark gravy. So this color here for me, personally, would be good for, like, if you're doing meatloaf and mashed potatoes, or even if you're doing a beef. This is a good color. For chicken, you can use it for chicken or turkey. You know, it's about your preference. I personally would want mine to be a little lighter. Just a little lighter if I'm doing chicken or if I'm going to use it for turkey, okay? So, I'm going to definitely turn my heat to, I'm going to put it on the number 3. Now, let's get a spoon because what I want to do right now, I'm definitely going to add more seasoning, but I want to taste it first, right? Because I want to build, right? Build up. So, let's go. Let's give this a taste. Listen, I lie not. Of course, it definitely needs more salt and a little more flavor. You know, something when you be like something to make it punch and just hit you right in your gut. You be like, oh, that is so good, okay? But as is, that is so creamy and so delicious. I really want you guys to see how I'm building up. I'm not just right away just throwing stuff in there, stirring, and then when you taste it's like yuck. You can't, because once you add it, you can't take away, right? Okay, so now this is what I'm going to do. Here's the magic. This right here is, like I said, is some of what I guess drippings or the juice from the baked chicken. Everybody that has baked chicken before, you know what's on that bottom of that pan is goodness, right? Flavor, good. So I'm gonna add, and this also is liquid, so we don't want to add too much of the chicken stock, because then this will definitely water down our gravy. But again, I'm going to show you, if that happens, don't be discouraged. Don't feel like I gotta throw the whole pot away. No, you don't. I'm gonna show you how you can thicken it, okay? So let's add this, which again is going to add even more flavor to the gravy. Now there's a bone in there. Now the only thing I don't like about when I use, let's get that bone out, but when I use some of the drippings from my chicken, baked chicken, is I bake chicken, when I bake my chicken, I put peppers and onions in it, right? And I don't want peppers and things in my gravy. I don't. I like a smooth, creamy gravy with nothing in it. But let me let you see how this is. This has some, even has some pieces of, this looks really good, some pieces of the chicken in it. Let me move this salt out the way. It has pieces of the chicken in it and some onions, just a few, not that much, and peppers. So I can kind of do this gravy right here is gonna make me cook tonight, okay? Look at that, see that? Okay, let's keep building, right? What we're gonna do right now, take a guess. Who can guess what I'm about to do before I do anything, add anything to it? I'm going to taste it, absolutely. Normally I would just rinse that spoon off, but I don't want to cross the thing, so I'm just gonna get another spoon, right? Here we go. I want to turn this up a little bit because I need it to cook. I want it to cook that flour taste out of the gravy, because we don't want people to taste and be like, ooh, I taste flour. No, we don't want that. We want them to taste all the other goodness, right? Okay, so turn this up. Let's give it a quick taste. Honestly, I don't need to add anything else but some salt and pepper. I'm gonna show you what I was going to add, what I was thinking about. I might do it just to kind of like show you another way that you can, help add flavor to your gravy. But was this not simple? This is the only seasoning basically I added: salt and pepper, and then some drippings from my meat. And you will have, I'm sure you will have something from your pan, some drippings from whatever meat you make, because most of the time we make gravy because we made a meat, right? So take the juice, the flavor from the bottom of the pan where that meat is, and add it to your gravy. Don't discard it, don't throw it away. Use it, add it to your gravy, or don't just let it just sit in the pan. You can make great use of that, right? Okay, so let me stir this. Now there's another thing you can do, like if you're making, clearly this is turning out to be a chicken gravy, right? Because I've added the flavor from the baked chicken. But if you want to make a beef gravy, you can add some of this. McCormick has a seasoning called Total Seasoning for beef, excuse me. You can add this to it, and it smells like roast to me. Delightful. You can add this, but this is simple. I wanted you guys to really see that it doesn't have to be complicated. Just simple, right? What was that? 3 tablespoons of butter, 1.5 tablespoons of flour, 1 cup of chicken broth, salt, pepper, and you just add that and you just taste it and you be like, this needs a little salt, add more salt. Taste it again, add more salt, and then the drippings from my meat. Voila, perfect gravy. Did you notice how I just took my time? And so what happens? I get results like this. Just take your time. Don't be in a rush, I know sometimes we're in a rush, but look, just take your time. till you master it. When you master it, and you can do this with your eyes closed, and you go ahead and rush and just do whatever. But right now, you know, just take your time. Make that. I guarantee you, everyone who tries it are going to love it. Okay, I'm going to turn my fire up a little bit, and I'm going to rinse this spoon off because I'm going to rinse it because I'm going to use this one again. Hold on. I wanted to simmer for, you know, and it's starting to simmer. I wanted to simmer a little longer, just like maybe, I don't know, 3, 4, 5 more minutes, maybe 3 or 4 minutes, because I don't want to taste flour. So the next time I go in to taste it, I don't want to taste any flour. In the meantime, while that is simmering, I'm going to tell you what you can do when you're all done and you realize I got too much liquid in my gravy. It's too runny, it's too loose, it's like water. All you do, you can either take some flour, like a teaspoon maybe or so, depending on how runny it is. Just take a little bit of flour, or let's see, where's my cornstarch? Cornstarch, where are you? That's baking powder. You can take some cornstarch, and I know I have some amongst this cabinet rather, of, here we go. Take some cornstarch, right? Same thing, a little teaspoon of cornstarch. Put it in a dish. Let me show you how. Let me turn this down. Here we go. Take your dish, right? Let's see. I'm gonna start, no, let's get a half. Okay, we're gonna do, let's do half a teaspoon. Yeah, half a teaspoon of cornstarch, right? You can do cornstarch or you can do flour. I usually do cornstarch if I'm trying to thicken up what already exists. So just take a teaspoon, like a half a teaspoon of cornstarch, put it in there, right? I'm gonna do a teaspoon. Teaspoon of cornstarch. Get your whisk. Add some of your broth, right? Add some of your broth, your liquiding agent, whether if you're using water or if you're using broth, that's fine, whatever your preference is. And as you pour, just whisk, right? You're not pouring a lot, you're just pouring enough so that the starch and the water are married together, pretty much, so that it's the starch is incorporated with the water. They're blended well together. And like I said, if you're doing flour or cornstarch, and it just looks like, you probably can see it better if I pour it, right? Can you hear that bubbling? Wow, sounds great. Okay, so you're just gonna mix it together till it looks like this. See how they well blend together? See that? And this little bit right here, believe it or not, I'm gonna show you. Now my gravy is at the consistency that I want it to be, but I wanna show you what that little bit will do to it, how it will thicken it up some more for me, okay? So, listen to that. Let me bring this in. Can you guys see that? See that? Now I'm gonna let you see the consistency or the thickness of my gravy. Watch this. See that? It's not too thick. It's right so where if you put it on top of mashed potatoes or you put it on rice, it's gonna sit on there and not like bleed all the way through it and it's at the bottom of your plate and nothing is on the actual food, right? Perfect. But I'm gonna show you, see that? I'm gonna show you how to get that thicker. I should have made some rice or something so you guys can actually see it on it, but next time, okay. Now I'm gonna take this see how this is small, just a little bit, and I'm gonna add it to it. And oh my gosh, look at that. It started to thicken it up already, and I just literally added it. Remember, a little goes a long way. And you saw how I just took my time and did everything step by step. Here we go. Now I'm gonna let you guys see how this just completely changed. Then we're gonna taste it, and then I'm done. I'm done, and I'm gonna go and try to find something that I can make to eat with this gravy. Now look at that. Honestly, I think this consistency right here is better than it was the first time before I added the cornstarch. Look at that. See that? I think that's a beautiful. I need to find something to put. I don't have anything made. I'm sorry, guys. But what I will do, let's make it a little thicker. Okay? I want to make it a little thicker so when I drop it into a bowl for you guys to see, you can just see the goodness, it's just so good. Okay, let's do this again. We'll do it again. Teaspoon. That's a half a teaspoon. That's a half a teaspoon. Makes for 1 teaspoon, right? Okay. Oh, that's just bubbling. I need something to put that on. What do you guys suggest? What should I make to go with my gravy, right? Okay, here we go. Let's just add a little bit of liquid just to mix it in together. We don't want too much because we're trying to thicken our gravy, not water it down by adding more liquid to it, right? So we're just putting enough to blend or to mix the cornstarch, right? Okay, so here we go. I'm gonna add that again. Stir it in, and I'm probably gonna have to add a little more salt and pepper or something. This is it right here. We're not going for anything thicker than this. Oh my gosh. Okay, let me taste. I'm gonna turn my fire way down. Put it on low, because it's done. Let's get to tasting. I want to thank you guys really for your support. It means the world to me. It really, really, really does. I thank you for watching me and tuning in. Let's go. It's done. Now I want you guys to see this here. Let's move this stuff out the way so you guys can really see, because I'm going to pour this in a bowl. Let's get a bowl. Uh-oh, it's not good. Here's our bowl right here. Our spoon. There we go. Oh wait. I want you guys to see it. So, kitchen's a little compact, but I'm gonna make it work, right? Okay. Here we go. You ready? Look at that. See that? Oh my gosh, I need something. I need something to put this gravy on. I'm glad I didn't make a lot. That's delicious. That's fantastic. It might be a little too thick for me, but yeah, let me see something real quick. See, look, you're actually seeing different, listen, I want you to be able to see me mess up or not like the way something it is. So you can see how I try to correct it, or sometimes you may see me totally mess something up. And I have to like throw it away, discard it, and start from the beginning. Start from scratch all over again. I'm just gonna add a little stock to it. Now my stock is room temperature because I had it out. So it's not gonna change the temperature of my gravy and make it warmer. Make it cool down or nothing like that, right? It's really thick. Okay, no. See, this is too thick for me, right? I'm going to let you guys really see this here. This is thick. And this is what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna show you what I'm gonna do. Things happen, right? Okay. This to me, I know some of you be like, oh, that's perfect. You may think it's perfect, it's fine. But to me, it's not. So I'm gonna show you what I'm going to do to make it perfect according to my liking, right? So let's get this pan back on. I'm gonna show you something. That cornstarch, that second go around, I think the first time was enough. This is pretty good. And I do believe that sometimes I mess with perfection. Like I feel like, oh, that's not good enough, that's not good, I need to do it over, and it's actually okay. But anyway, let's go. Let's do this real quick. I'm just gonna, in the pan, I'm just gonna add some stock. I'm gonna add some liquid to it. And I'm gonna let it simmer. See, you can fix stuff, don't be discouraged. It's fixable. It's not the end all be all. See, look at that. I'm impressed. I'm happy now. I wasn't happy. If I was honest, listen. I wasn't happy with what it was looking like. I really wasn't. You know, I could have easily just played it off, in front of you guys and be like, well, guys, here you have it. Great gravy. Thank you. And went out and left. But no, it wasn't perfect for me. This right here, this is it. I'm going to let it simmer just for a second. And while this is simmering, now that's it right there. I'm not sure what was going on before. But while that's simmering, I can leave that right there. I'm going to rinse this out, okay? Hold on. So did anybody do anything exciting today? Or did you kind of just like relax and chill? Just had a kind of laid back day. I'm sure many of you have went to work. And then for some of us, I work in the school system and school isn't quite open yet. Not all the way, but they're getting there. Okay, so let's pull it out. Now this is what Tanya likes for her gravy. Remember, it's about preference, about what you want, what you desire, what makes you happy. That's what you do. Okay, now here we go. Now that, thank you, gravy. I appreciate you working with me. Thank you so much. Mama's happy now. Thank you. Now this is gravy for me. Let's taste it. I should have tasted it before but I think it's okay. Let's go. See that? See that? That's how I like it. Now I'm gonna taste it. Glass is full. It tastes like it went down like hot soup on a 20-degree, snowy or rainy, wintry East Coast day. It just went down and literally just, from when it hit my palate and went down my throat and down, once it hit my chest, it just warmed it up so. Oh, anyway, that was wonderful. Okay, so listen, here you have it. Gravy. I promise you, the next time you make gravy, if you follow these steps, you will have the perfect gravy that your family would love. And when you make this for the holidays and everyone is tasting it and they're standing around, they're like, oh my gosh, who made the gravy? This is all you do. You just be like, while everybody is pointing, or while someone is pointing and saying, she did, he did. You don't have to say anything. You just stand and just be like, you can do it. That easy. You rock. Have a wonderful day, guys. And remember, this Friday is Cooking with T, and it is our International Friday. Yes, our International Friday. We're going abroad. I look forward to seeing you on Friday. Don't forget, be good, be great, be love, be peace. God bless you. Have a good one.